Recording in progress.
July 18th meeting of the St. Joseph County Board of Commissioners. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda is the accounts payable docket. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we want to celebrate our Youth of the Month, which today is the New Prairie softball team.
Yes, and I'm going to say, congratulations to the New Prairie Cougars softball team on their historic victory. Winning your first state softball championship is an incredible achievement, and your hard work and dedication have paid off. The 4-2 win over Tri-West Hendricks demonstrates the team's skill, resilience, and determination. You have showcased the true spirit of champions, and your success will be remembered for years to come. Your coaches, teammates, and supporters must be immensely proud of your accomplishments, and I'm proud too. Enjoy this well-deserved celebration and savor the sweet taste of victory. Best wishes for continued success in your future endeavors. Go Cougars!
Coach, would you like to come up and, on behalf of the team, and or some of the players too? Whoever wants to come up.
Come on, girls, you each have 5 minutes to speak. Come on up.
Anybody want anything to say there?
If you would like, yeah, I'll have each one of them introduce themselves. That would be the best
Good.
way. And
Sure.
then maybe share,
Come on
maybe
up.
share their favorite
Oh, come-
memory or something.
We don't bite. Come on.
Come on up.
Yeah, tell you.
Yep.
You can
Get the microphone.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
I'm Emily Mrzinski, and I play left field.
Hold on. Wait. I have a question for you. What was your batting average?
Like 485, I think.
Okay. What was your on-base percentage? Like, just say 874 or something.
8,
You bet right-handed or left-handed?
880 something. Right.
Okay. What's the hardest pitch for you to hit?
I don't know. Probably the ones that aren't in the strike zone, but get called a strike.
Okay. Good answer. Do you think Carl could strike you out?
No.
Good job. Next.
I would like to add on Emily and brag on her. In the last 3 games, the 2 semi-state games and the championship game, she batted 800. That's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
My name's Ella Chominiak, and I played right field.
What kind of glove do you have?
Wow, great.
Wilson.
Good answer.
And what was your batting average?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, come
I
on.
kind of missed like half the season because I had some injuries. So.
Okay.
I will help her out also. In our sectional game, our first sectional game, we were 0-0 with Clay, and she's the 9 batter, and she hit a home run to get us a 1-0 lead in the sectional game.
For you.
What kind of pitch did you hit? Was it over the fence?
Yeah,
What kind of pitch?
it wasn't inside.
Oh, yeah.
But it went
Turned
out.
on it.
Next.
Hi, I'm Michaela Wilby. I played second base.
And you hit what
Great.
this year? What did you bat this year?
I don't know, like a 400.
Very good.
I'll say something about her also. I think you had 2 home runs on the year, right? Yeah, and she's a second base specialist, so she didn't get to bat as much as others, but she did hit a couple of home runs this year, so
Cool.
she did a great job.
I'm Kendra Willoughby, and I play the infield.
And
And
Batting average?
I don't know my batting average.
what kind of bat to use?
At Easton Ghost,
How many ounces is it?
32.
How many?
23. 23.
30? What is, how many?
20, 32 inch, 23 ounce.
Okay, good job. Okay, Coach, you want to give us a synopsis of the year?
Yeah, so Kendra, I'll brag a little bit on her too. I don't know how many home, she played JV most of the year, and she's a great catcher, so we brought her up to help us on the final run after JV season was over. How many home runs did you hit in JV? 2 home runs for her too. So they're twins, and they both hit 2 home runs, so that's pretty good. So I don't remember our record. It was either 31-5 or 32-5. 32-5. So to give you our record, one thing that, other than the history of being the first team sport at New Prairie to win a state championship in any sport, we were also the first in LaPorte County to ever win a softball state championship, we found out. I didn't find this stuff out until about 6 weeks ago. I wasn't paying attention to that. And then also another great thing is 9 different girls, and we can't count Kendra because she was on JV with her home runs, but these 3 and 6 other girls hit 55 total home runs in the season. And so 37 games, they hit 55 home runs total, which is good for 5th all time in the state of Indiana. So that's something to be proud of. So
What kind of ball you all use now?
it's a Wilson, it's got some crazy number like 4077 optic yellow. It's a yellow ball, 40 on these.
Well, it's awesome. New Prairie is setting, I guess, the example for the whole area with all the titles that everybody's been winning in all sports. It's a credit to everybody over there, the amount of time, effort, and money they put into athletics, which is very important. Your weight room is phenomenal. I'm trying to get Mish to go over there, but I don't know. It's good, but for the girls, make sure you thank your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles who bought you the new cleats you had to have, the new bats, the new gloves, the new balls, all of the tournaments y'all had to go to for the weekends that you've probably been playing since you've been 8 years old and all that. So I know there's a lot of work, but like playing sports is a blast. So I don't consider that work. Like lifting weights and hitting the ball is cool, but make sure all the people have loaded you up in the car, put snacks, it's a long, long road. And sometimes it can be overbearing when parents have other kids and all that stuff, but make sure you thank everybody that helped contribute to where you are, and then whatever you choose to do, if you go on play college, that's awesome. But like kind of remember this experience as you go of, hey, look what we did. There's very few teams. There's only one in the state that did what you did, so that's very impressive, so great job.
Yep. And oh my gosh, so I played softball too when I was growing up, and then I coached too. My daughter, when she was growing up, and kids, so I was a coach. So I just loved it. Yes, good. So I'm so proud of you guys. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Come on
Yeah.
up and let's get a picture before you.
Come on, Scott.
Come on up.
They want you to come up.
Stand here in alphabetical order by date of birth. Congratulations. Good job. Good job. Nice job.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Cool, thank you. All right. You guys can leave if you want, unless you want to stay.
Congratulations. Best wishes.
Like the football team brought us T-shirts, just saying. That's all right. Thank you. See y'all.
Bye-bye.
Next, we want to recognize our business of the month, Birch and Bree Charcuteries.
Wow, Carl.
Charcuteries.
Step up to the
Almost was
podium,
able to
you
say it.
two.
Yay.
So instead of me speaking, I'd rather hear the people who do this and explain how long you've been doing this, what you do, and so on and so forth. Go ahead, young lady.
We are Birch and Bree Charcuteries, and
Just
we
pull the microphone down.
we are
so
Birch
can
and Bree
hear you.
Charcuteries, and we just opened business July 15th last year. So we've just been in business for 1 year, and we make custom wood charcuterie boards. My husband Don, he makes them, and then I do themed graze tables. So charcuterie, your meats and cheeses. So if it's a birthday or a wedding or a wine event or just a meeting that you guys have and you want to put on the dog for all your people, we're the ones that do that. So
Or an open house, right? SDH
or an
home,
open
when that
house
kitchen's done.
or anything. So we decorate it for whatever the theme is.
And tell everybody where you're located.
We have an online store, and our commissary is in South Bend, or Mishawaka, I'm sorry.
And
Yes.
how can people get a hold of you?
Through our website, and we also have all of our boards, all of our charcuterie graze tables, boxes, trays, that's all online, so you can just go online and order, and then we deliver everything local.
He's on your website right now. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, thank you very much. This is, we do this, and then after the first of the year, we get all of the winners. So we have a lot of people, well over 100 people, and we just do a big bash, as it would be. So we'll be looking for a big table, big spread.
Oh, my goodness, I don't know who can do that.
Cool.
Well, we appreciate your investment in the community and what you're doing to, it really improves the quality of life.
Oh, for sure,
Part of the
and
fabric of the community.
yeah, and it is something special. Like I said, if you're trying to, if you have a business and you're trying to impress your customers and you want to really put something nice together for them and make it first class, we're the ones that are going to do it for you.
So if Augustino and Keller, they have a luncheon, they could, there you go.
I need your card.
Okay,
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Oh,
yeah,
because you
Please.
said in Mishawaka too, right?
yes.
Let me
Please
know.
come on up and let's get a picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Toll House cookies and
Next item on the agenda are the bills passed by the St. Joseph County Council. Any questions or comments?
I don't know the specific, do we have any council members on Zoom? Any St. Joe County council members on Zoom?
Don't see any.
Okay. I just had a question regarding the raises for the auditor, the assessor, and the county clerk. If somebody was there to answer any questions, if not,
I had some questions about that too, because there was a lot of payment there. A lot of money was used, so yeah. I was going to ask those questions too.
okay. Well, I guess I will address them to the guy. I just wanted, for the record, to know what parameters were used to give those three elected officials collectively an over 50% raise, to see if that's going to be the standard for county government, for elected officials, or department heads, or employees. So I guess if somebody's on, they don't want to say, so I'll forward that on, but that's the only question President Baxmeyer had of if we're giving raises, what criteria and what parameters. Nothing against you, Mr. Murphy, but this, if we're going to do that, that's fine, but what criteria are we going to follow when we do that?
Well, you make a good point, and it's budget season, so we can
No, that's cool.
pursue that. Do we have a motion to pass the bills passed by the St. Joseph County Council?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next is approval of the employment agreement for the new health officer, Dr. Prashutham. Dr. Serban, do you want to?
You just got to sit closer to the podium when you get here, man.
This is my exercise. Yeah, the Board of Health and the Common Council both voted to approve Dr. Prashutham as the next health officer. I would definitely recommend her for that position. She's been in contact with me quite a bit in the past 2 weeks preparing to start her duties. And I think she'll do a very excellent job for the residents of St. Joe County.
Yeah, another question that I had, and I guess the council's not here because they set the salary. The salary currently for that job is how much?
The previous two individuals that were doing it, I think it added up to, and don't quote me, I think it was about 185 per year.
Okay.
So this was a raise above that.
Yeah, again, that's another question of, it's a pretty substantial raise for that job. I think it went up to 250,000, correct?
Yeah, 250, yes.
And again, I don't know if there's any council people on there that want to chime in of why it went from that up to 250,000. So you don't have to answer that because it was their decision, but I'm just trying to ask why.
I can give you some insight to that discussions since I was there.
Okay.
Basically, it's very difficult to hire any physician at this time. The demand for physicians nationwide is extremely high. The salaries that they're asking to get physicians are extremely high. For instance, in my specialty, family medicine, in my practice, we would hire new grads. These are inexperienced, first-time practicing doctors at salaries that were much higher than my salary after almost 40 years of practice. It's just, you talk about inflation of food, inflation of anything. Physician salaries have gone through the roof. It's insane. And getting somebody to come to South Bend, we were offering salaries that were astronomical, to be honest, and still people weren't taking it because they could get more elsewhere. So it was basically, we felt we were lucky to get anybody, and it turned out we got a great candidate, but it cost us a little more money.
Okay, thank you, because that proves my point of, at least verifies that happens with all of the people in St. Joe County. Our employees have been grossly underpaid for decades. We attempted to have a HR/finance person, which we're at 120 and the council slashed us to 100 and we couldn't find anybody, so we have to go back and do it again, and then hire a firm 20,000 to do that. But the point being, what you alluded to, in today's world, you have to pay for what you get, and that goes from all of our elected officials, all of the commissioners, all of the people who come in here and work in the offices daily who are projected, to get a 3% raise, which I don't think is enough. So again, I'm trying to look at the big picture. What are we doing for, if we're going to do this for everybody at the top, we certainly need to do it for everybody at the bottom.
I would
So,
agree.
thank you. Well, you want to stay on then?
No.
And before you leave, two things. One, I think we all had the opportunity to speak with Dr. Pershutham, and certainly agree with your comments about, I think we've got a great new health officer. But I also want to thank you for the time that you've been with us. It hasn't been long, but certainly appreciate working with you and what you've done for the health department over these last few months. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. It's been interesting.
Well, that's what I was going to say too, but he said it, and I appreciate you too so much. Best wishes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I was going to say too, but again, all of the work that you did, and we're not here to bash previous people who were in there. I think we did a lot of work collectively, a lot of bad publicized things, attempted to think there was a big war on the health department. There wasn't. There was a transition on, I think, what's best for St. Joe County. So again, appreciate everything you've done. We appreciate everybody who had been there in the past, but I think the direction that we're going in now is going to be a benefit to everybody. So it's too bad you all have to go, but
Well,
appreciate it.
all the folks at the Health Department are thankful for the support from the commissioners and the council and the Board of Health. We've gotten almost every single thing we've asked for, and we've been very thankful for it, including this last vote to sign up for the SB4, the health one. It's really going to help a lot. Thank you.
It is.
And I appreciate you
you.
cleaning that garage on Riverside and that vehicle, like the trash and garbage, and
Didn't know that was in your job description,
Horrible.
did you?
so that's up for sale now too, that vehicle. So thank you.
That's
Thank
good.
you.
Get rid of it.
Because you helped us find a vehicle we didn't even know we had out there too.
That's true.
All right, thank you.
If there are no other questions or comments about the employment agreement, do we have a motion to approve the employment agreement for the new health officer?
Yes, a motion to approve the employment agreement.
Second,
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
going aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Moving on to infrastructure planning and growth. Do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second,
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Seeing Mr. Metters making his way to the podium.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Just so you know, engineers are hard to find too, just by the way. I had to put a plug in.
So noted.
I'm just joking. I love my job. Okay, are we ready on the first item, Carl?
First item is the approval of the engineering services agreement with United Consulting.
This is an agreement with United Consulting out of Indianapolis to prepare contract bid documents for small structures replacement for Tyler Road over Hankey Ditch. This is a not-to-exceed amount of $147,555,000, and it will come out of American Rescue Plan money for bridge and small structure design. And we have reviewed this and recommend approval.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to approve the engineering services agreement with United Consulting?
Second,
So moved.
second again.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you
Aye.
vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye. Along the same lines, the next item is approval of the engineering services agreement with McCormick Engineering LLC.
This is a similar type agreement, but it is for 5 structures, small structures, which are structures from 3 foot and width or length up to 20 foot. and it's for surveying, design, and permitting, and preparation of contract documents, and it is for not to exceed amount of $234,350, and that will also be coming out of the American Rescue Plan appropriation for bridges and small structures.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion?
Well, a motion to approve this engineering services agreement.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And finally, approval of the bid award, RNS 92301, Granger Roads resurfacing and rehab.
Yes, what this is the bid award request for our first round of subdivision paving up in the northeast section of the county in the Granger area. It's for about 7 miles of paving. We actually have another package out to bid right now for the remainder of the county for some subdivision work, but this one for that northeast section, we received 2 bids. The low bidder was Reith Riley Construction Company in the amount of $2,761,190.60. We reviewed the bids and recommend your approval for this contract. Happy to answer any questions.
Don't get, what, 7 miles? 7 miles?
7, yes.
Okay.
And the current package we have out for bid 2 is for another 7. So with the funding that we currently get on an annual basis for paving, along with some funding that was appropriated from American Rescue Plan, hopefully we'll be able to get both of these done and not have to cut any. We'll see what the bids come in at.
Pave more than we did in '22?
No, no.
How much more do you need? But we set a record in '22.
We set a record in '22. '22 is that'd be a hard one to get to, yeah.
But did you say that it was going to be Reith Riley that?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They were
Yeah.
the low bidder.
Right, the lowest bidder. Mhm.
Questions, comments? If not, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve this bid award.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
You
you.
Sky Meadows.
Under old business, we had, at the auditor's request, tabled this last meeting. We first need a motion to take it off the table.
So moved.
Right now?
Yeah.
We have to do it again?
We have to take it off the table, put it on the
Oh,
table.
yes, that's true, off the table. I'll second that.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
With that little bit of business taken care of, Mr. Murphy.
John Murphy, County Auditor with offices on the second floor. This is the contract for the renewal of the annual 4D cost allocation plan for the years 2023 through 2025, a 3-year contract. What the cost allocation plan does is it allows the county to qualify for extra reimbursement from the federal government for indirect costs like payroll, processing, accounts payable, and budgeting and so forth. So we bring in about over $300,000 a year and through this plan, and the cost of the professional fees are $12,870 for each of the 3 years under this contract. I have Daniel Vaughn, who is our representative from Malinowski Consulting. He's on the line if you wanted to hear from him about what they do briefly. Daniel, are you there?
I am. Can everybody hear me?
You can.
Excellent. Well, this is the part where I love when you guys all talk about expenses and things like that. Here is a plan that brings in money into the county. And just as John said, basically what we do is we identify costs that are associated with the Title 4D program in St. Joseph County. For every dollar the county spends on this program, you get 66 cents back on that dollar. And so far, we have been doing the cost plan in your county since 2007, and we're averaging about $326,000 a year. The nice thing about that is it comes right back into the county general fund and can be used unrestricted. So we partner with the auditor's office because they house a lot of the information that we need to analyze, but that money all comes back. The beautiful part about this is the fee is not paid with county general money. It is paid out of an incentive fund that is set aside by the federal government that can only be used for Title 4D. So basically the fee paid for incentive funds, the reimbursements all come back to county general unrestricted in their use.
And just for clarity, would you briefly describe the Title 4D program?
Absolutely. The Title 40 program was set up in the Social Security Act, and it is a program that the federal government established that said it is too costly to put children on welfare when we cannot establish paternity of the non-custodial parent. So the reason why St. Joseph County has a child support prosecuting division is we're trying to go seek who is the non-custodial parent, establish paternity, get money into that child. Because the federal government set this up and it filtered all the way down to counties, they get to participate in a federal financial participation rate of 66%, basically an unfunded mandate. And so every dollar that is spent from St. Joseph County, and we help partner with the clerk, the circuit court, and the probate court on their direct expenses. And your prosecutor's office also gets their direct expenses reimbursed. This program looks at all the indirect costs. How much does it cost to heat and light the building, get security guards there at the CCD, JJC, all of that, and says, this is what the true cost is. We ask for reimbursement through the federal program, and then the state approves it, and it gets right back to you. What we do on this plan gets paid in quarterly installments. And again, it's averaging over $300,000 a year.
Any questions, comments?
Thank you.
Do we have a motion to approve the proposal for the preparation of the annual 4D cost allocation plans for the next 3 years?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Next, we'll move to public comments. First, anybody in the room?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
It's taken me about a week to process a decision you made last week with a resolution R-16-C-2023, so I didn't comment on it last week, but I'm ready to comment on it today. I've done some research and read up a little more about it. That's where you did an opt-in agreement to opt into our form of county government. The new state law allowed for the commissioners to opt in or to essentially adopt a form of government that essentially is the present form of government we have. For those who may not know, prior to this new legislation, St. Joseph County was singled out, along with, I believe, Lake County, and required to have commissioners and council members elected by districts only. There are 92 counties in Indiana, and almost without exception, voters have the choice to vote for both at-large and district representatives. Our municipalities have that option for voters. Our school boards have that option for voters. I think having a county government more like Allen County would allow voters to have better representation here in St. Joseph County. We went through a difficult and costly redistricting debacle that could have been avoided if we had had at-large commissioner elections and at least 3 at-large council elections. I think it's unfortunate that you chose not to hold a public hearing on this very critical and important decision about how our county government is structured. As the speaker mentioned at the meeting last week, which got me to think more about it and do more research, he said a lack of communication on major issues like this are a problem, and it would have been helpful for the county to have had a discussion about the pros and cons of our form of government and this type of government structure. Thank you.
Well stated.
Anyone else wish to speak? Seeing no one, we'll move to those who are online. No other comments? Do we have a motion to recess?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Fleming, how do you vote?
Aye.
Commissioner Dieter, how do you vote? Commissioner Baxmeyer, how do you vote?
Aye.
You took too long.
Thank you.
Thank you
Recording
all.
stopped.